Hello, this is Jacob with Environmental Works. I'm at 2070 Ridge Pointe Drive in Lake Oswego to perform a video sewer line inspection to determine the serviceability of the sewer line going from the house to the city main. I've accessed the line today through a 3-inch ABS toilet flange located in the basement. I am currently in the horizontal lateral now with some water flowing, and at this point I'll set my foot marker to read 0 and begin my inspection. There appears to be some sort of obstruction here. I'm going to try spend the next few minutes trying to get through it. Alright, we just made it over. Continuing on. This could be some sort of clean out or test tee. locate that on our way back. Alright, at this point I am not making any good progress anymore. I'm going to spend a few more minutes trying to progress some more. If not, I'm going to shut off the water and get a locate on this spot and then begin my pullback. Alright, so far I've been unable to make any more forward progress, so at this point I've shut off all the water and I'm going to re-inspect the line, pulling back and marking up the foundation to find a good spot for an outside clean out. Appears to be some water slowly flowing out, some minor pooling starting at approximately 130 feet. Just a very small portion of minor pooling. I'm going to go ahead and get a locate on this position. Located this spot approximately 9.5 feet deep, near the sort of flagstone path next to the front walkway. I'm going to keep pulling back. Here's the beginning of some potential pooling at approximately 105 feet. We'll say 106 feet, so we're ahead of it. That's the end of some pooling, not some beginning. Apologies, I forgot to unpause. We are past the minor pooling at approximately 102 feet. And it was only some minor pooling. Nothing that will impede flow, so we'll keep moving back. I'm going to get a locate on the spot just so we know where we are. Located this spot approximately 100 feet out, at approximately 9 feet deep in the front yard, marked out with some white paint. Alright, continuing to pull back. At approximately 102, 103 feet, we can see what could be a possible cleanout. We're going to go try to locate that. Located and probed for this possible cleanout. Felt something approximately 1 foot deep. Could be dug up relatively easily. See some wipes tucking the line here. And approximately 83 feet, we'll say, is the end of some major pooling. We're going to go get a locate on this and then start pulling back through. Located the end of this pooling at approximately 8 feet deep in the front yard, marked out with some white paint. Here's the beginning of this pooling at approximately 78 feet. A little further, make sure there's no close by pooling. Alright, we're going to get a locate on this. Located this spot approximately 8 foot 6 inches deep, once again in the front yard. It's the end of some more pooling at approximately 68 feet. Going to pull in a little bit. Yep, that's real pooling, so we're going to locate on that. Located this end of this pooling at approximately 8 foot 6 inches deep in the front yard, marked out with some more white paint. Pulling back through now. We're going to locate on the beginning of this pooling. We're going to locate the spot in the front side yard. Marked out with some white paint. There was interference though, so I wasn't able to get an accurate depth marking. Keep pulling back. More pooling, starting at 58 feet. However, it's minor pooling. This corner, or at this turn here, we can see more pooling. This is actual pooling. We'll go ahead and get a locate on this. Once again, this spot is approximately 8 foot 6 inches deep, marked out in the side yard in white paint. Locate on the beginning of the pooling here. Look at this, approximately 8 feet deep in the side yard, just outside the backyard fence. This concludes the video sewer line inspection for 2070 Ridge Pointe Drive in Lake Oswego. The serviceability of the sewer line does appear to be compromised due to areas of pooling, and we recommend a line repair.